Hey everybody, guess who? Yep, it's possibly your new best pal, Dr. Chatter, and I'm here with a few new episodes. I've been gone for about 3 months, maybe a little bit longer. It's taking a little break from making the videos, just sitting back, watching the news, laughing, not really drinking, exercising. I have gotten down from 225 to 185. So far, think I'm still beating Trump. Anywho, there's been a lot of shit happening. But just to let you know, one of the things that I did do, I started running a little bit of a, you could call it an experiment. I'm growing peppers now. Let's take a look.
Alright, so these are my habaneros, turned a lovely orange color. It's almost the same color I use on my logo. And then down here I've got 3 plants. These are all serranos. So you see some of them are turning red. Looking really good. I got lots of green ones. I'm gonna pick some red, some green. Been trying to get these all to at least turn green or red, change their ripe colors so that they could produce seeds for next year. And if you look right down in here, that little white notch in the V, in the crotch of the plant, that's where I picked the first pepper. The first one that got really big. It was nearly the size of my hand. Nice big pepper, turned red, and so I ate it. But I saved the seeds. And you can even see a couple flowers on there. Those flowers are going to drop off and I'll have new peppers on there. Here's some more jalapenos. These are all jalapenos. But green ones, red ones, looking really good. And then if we wander over to the other side of the yard, we got some other surprising things. These are Anaheim chilies. So you can see one of them. Get down here. Nice big long pepper there. Got another one over here. And then if you come over here, you kind of see this one is starting to change colors finally. And I've been doing lots of research on peppers to get my peppers to grow right. Only thing I haven't gotten is some of the fertilizer, but I've been doing pretty good at growing these peppers and getting a lot to show up. So next year I'll probably have some more money to invest in the pepper garden, and it will be much bigger, and I'll start telling you some of my tips and tricks on how to get these nice peppers. And these are my hot peppers, little chilies, and they have just exploded with a number of chilies. But then this one right here has been getting some really weird colored chilies. Some of them orange, some of them red. Not sure if it's ripening process or if they've gotten some cross-pollination with one of the other plants. There's been some bees in the neighborhood doing their business. But yeah, I'm going to be cutting a lot of these up and have a ton of seeds from them for next year. So I also plan on taking these, making some salsa, making some roasted, and making some into pickled peppers. So it'll be interesting to say the least, but I've got some bags sitting out over on my recycling bin. So I'm actually going to start picking these. And it's real easy. I'll just show you right here. This is one of the oldest ones. You just go right to the top of the stem where it reaches the plant in that little V and just pluck it. Just that easy. Just pop right off. But I'm going to pick these, get them all cut up, get the seeds separated, and I'll see you later. And this is the harvest. As you can tell, got everything labeled. Oop. habanero, nice orange, serranos, and I picked a bunch of the little chili peppers. As you can see, I took some of the green and I took a lot of the reds. I wanted to get all the ones that were ripe for seeds, and took a bunch of serranos to make some of those plants grow a little bit more and produce a few more peppers before the end of the grow season, and aid the ones that were still on the vine ripening. Got some green Anaheims because I really want to try these, and they look just so delicious. I tried to leave a lot of the ones that were still ripening on there, but I wanted to get at least a green from every single one, and I did get one of the jalapenos right down in there. But even grabbed some of those ones that might not be quite ripe. They're kind of orange and spotted, look like carrots. Let's see if I could do something with that. See if those will produce some viable seeds and what those plants will look like. But yeah, and I will show you how to cut these. There's a nice little trick, but that will probably be either later today or tomorrow when I finish this video. So yeah, my peppers, they've produced a lot. But next year, with bigger pots, more soil, compost, and fertilizer, I expect them to be maybe 2 to 3 times their size in bush form, and I expect these things to probably be closer to an inch longer. We'll see what I can do. I'm going to try and spend as much of my tax money, if I get any back, for this year, to spend on next year's garden. And I've got plans for making a large raised garden with something included to actually water it and give it some shade, because even though they say peppers need 8 to 10 hours of sunlight, direct sunlight doesn't seem like it really helps them a lot. It just dries them out and makes them wither. Unfortunately, I would have had poblanos also, but my poblanos all died. But more on that later. And these are my Anaheim chilies, which are also getting a lot of flowers on them. And if you look at this one up here, just look at these clusters of flower buds and growing peppers. This one had peppers that were as long as my hand. So, you know, good sized peppers. And now it's just exploding with more peppers. This one's doing all right. It might not produce any more peppers. I think it might be done. But we'll see. And then my chili peppers, I picked a lot of the green ones and a lot of the red ones, and now they're just exploding again. And all those little tiny buds you saw in the last little segment were actually growing really big and ripening after I picked them. So I've got a lot more peppers. And I've already got 72 peppers picked from this garden. I'm going to have a lot more. We'll have a final count, hopefully at the end of this video. Okay, so as you can see, I already harvested my serrano seeds. Got a few there. And my Anaheim seeds, got a few there. And I got a ton of jalapeno seeds from the jalapenos I did. And I just picked a few more peppers out of the garden. I'm up to 85. But we also got these, so I'm going to kind of cut some of these up. Okay, so I have some habaneros ready to go, and basically I'm going to show you what you want to do is you want to take your pepper and see how it's kind of got that 5-sided or 6-sided kind of look to it. Well, those are kind of the pathways you're going to take down. Each one of those sides is where you're going to slice down. This will keep most of the seeds attached to the stem and the central flesh of the jalapeno, so that you can take the seeds and then dry them for later. Whereas you have the outer flesh and skin, which will still have a lot of the heat, it'll still have a lot of the heat in the skin and a lot of the capsaicin, but it won't have the seeds, because you want to keep the seeds, and keeping them all in the stem just makes them easier to transport to a bowl where you can then
let them dry for a little bit while you cut up the peppers or do cooking, whatever, and then get back to them. So I'm going to cut this up and I'll show you what it looks like, and probably a couple others too. I'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, this is the first one I cut, and that green part was actually a little wilty, so I did get some seeds on the outer part. But if you look at how these other two came out, virtually no seeds on the other side. This is a way you can cut all peppers and keep the seeds in the center, or at least the majority of them. Remember, a lot of the capsaicin is not just in the seeds, but it's actually in the white part of the flesh. There are these little, look like almost pustules in there. If you looked at it really close, you would see these little balls of what look like sacs of fluid. Sometimes they're a little clearish, sometimes they're whitish, sometimes they're yellowish, but that's the capsaicin. So a lot of the flesh of what you're going to eat, which is the orange part on this, that's still going to have some in it, but not that much. And if you roast them, use a little butter and oil when you cook them, they're actually going to be more savory than hot. All peppers do that because you're essentially burning away some of the capsaicin, and the oil and the butters are what's helping to break it down while it's cooking. But I'm going to cut the rest of these up and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so these types of peppers, these little hot peppers, chili peppers, whatever you want to call them, I'm not exactly certain if this technique will work with them, so I'm going to try something a little different. Basically, I'm going to cut off the top, slice it down the side, and see if I can scoop it out. We'll see how it goes. Alright, here is that same pepper filleted. I did cut this off, but there are some seeds that will be in there sometimes. And when I filleted this open, I saw all the seeds kind of coming out, so I just kind of pushed them out with my finger. They all just kind of fell out. So these are actually pretty easy. They're not too bad, but I have been touching the inside of these and the inside of the habaneros, so my fingers are covered in capsaicin. I'm going to try and do a trick later to see if I can actually get that capsaicin off, but I don't know if it's guaranteed to work. Okay, even easier than filleting them open is I just cut the top off of this one, and then I just held it over here and went like this, and the seeds all fell out. See that big clump? That's from this one. So a little bit easier. Hey, you won't get capsaicin on your hands with this. There's a trick. And if you go back over here, these are all my peppers that I've got frozen in here. I've got some green ones. Tried not to cut any of the green ones, so big green ones there. Bigger Anaheims right there. These are going to be real good. So I got my seeds, and now all I have to do is clean up the last of this, which I don't really think I got it this messy. But oh well, more work for me. And even better, check this out. So I got some good news today, just in time for me to finish doing my pepper video. I just got some peppers from a buddy at work. He has a friend that grows peppers too. So now I have some Carolina Reapers. Looks like I might have some more habaneros, some chilies. I don't know if he said those were ghost chilies. I'm gonna have to look online and try to identify these plants. Looks like some of them may have some rot on them or some mold. I'm definitely gonna have to be careful. I got some rubber gloves here to cut them up and everything, but yeah, we'll see if I can get some seeds from these guys and plant them too. So stay tuned for that video. So you're saying, what are you gonna do with peppers? Well, I'm gonna eat them. I'm gonna make salsa. I'm going to make some pepper powder, maybe some crushed red pepper flakes. Lots of stuff, and I'm gonna cook with them. It's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward. I found a simple recipe for pickled peppers, so I think a lot of those little chili peppers I'm gonna pickle because I got a lot of them. So far, the count is up to 135 peppers. Out of those, about 11 have been lost. But the rest I have, and they're on ice. And I'm gonna cook with them. And as long as I still got good weather, I'm still getting more peppers. I've got like 10 more on the habanero plant. I've got another 30 growing on the little chili pepper plants. I've got a couple of big Anaheims coming in. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna get as many of these as I can. And I even got some good news. I'm gonna get a tiny bump in my finances. I did, in real life, actually leave my other job where I was doing a lot of work and took a job where I used to work because I really don't like the boss at my last job. He's kind of a jerk, and well, we'll leave that for another discussion. Anywho, but in the meantime, I have had a lot of free time and I had done this pepper garden. Now, I didn't get a lot of fertilizer. That's my bad. But next year I'll have fertilizer, and this money that I'm supposedly going to be receiving is actually from a profit sharing program from a previous job where I was doing graphic design. I'll be able to get shelves, get fertilizers, prepare for next year, and hopefully have a whole bunch more seeds. And as you can see, I'm gonna have probably some Carolina Reapers, and I think he said it was ghost peppers. I'm still not sure on that. I haven't looked it up. Well, I'm actually taping a lot of this intro, middle, and outro after the fact that I got here and had filmed the bag of the Carolina Reapers and whatever other peppers are in there. So we'll see what I can do for this next year. Hopefully, I'm going to have a much bigger garden. I'm planning on getting some more poblanos, fixing what I did wrong there, and get those done. There's a bunch of other pepper varieties that I plan on trying to get seeds for or plants for at various places. And I am going to try and make a large pepper garden to kind of surround my house. And because I helped my dad and watched him build an irrigation system for a backyard garden when I lived in New Mexico, I will actually be trying to rig up a similar system so that there will be minimum watering that will need to be done and fertilizing can be done on the spot. It'll be nice. Now, I know that sounds kind of gross, but I'm talking about watered down formula of fertilizer, not shitting in the outside. No, that's not me. Hope you learned something. I got a lot of tips and tricks. I didn't get to every single one this year, but I will keep you updated on my peppers, what I'm going to do with them, and hopefully, who knows, maybe I could turn this into a business. It's worth a shot. I'm Dr. Chatter. Remember, knowledge changes the world.